I'm puking everywhere. Hey guys, it's Anna, and today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on Regan from The Exorcist. There are a lot of different Exorcist movies out there, but my personal fave is still the original with little Regan and her super bright green puke. There are a lot of tutorials going around lately with other special effects makeup artists creating Regan, but I decided to do my own version of it and the products that I decided to use. I also had this makeup in my version of Don't Judge Me Challenge, so go ahead and check that out. Put a link in the description box below, and let's get started. So we're going to start out like we normally do, pulling back our hair and taking off any makeup that you had on beforehand. Next thing I'm going to do is cover my eyebrows, and I do this by coating them in a layer of glue using a glue stick, and once that's dry, I take some molding wax and put a very thin layer of that over them. And for this, I actually put liquid latex over it. Over the course of this entire video, I'm adding more and more layers, and I ended up adding about 10 layers, so just keep on working to try and get those brows all covered. I then mixed my regular foundation with some white cream just to make my face very pale and disgusting, and I did this, I kind of tried to make it very splotchy so that my face would just look really uneven and gross and weird. Obviously if you're sick, your entire body is not just gonna turn green, so yeah, and I kind of gave up with the sponge halfway, just started using my hands to try and get that in. Here I'm also trying to cover up my brows a little bit more because they're so dark. After that, you're just going to take some baby powder or translucent powder and powder over all that. Next thing I did was just using an angled brush and a light pink shadow. I marked out where all the cuts are going to be. I know that you can't really see this, but I just went off a few reference photos that I got from Google, so just kind of wing it. It doesn't really matter how precise it is. Then, taking a very dark gray shadow, I'm just deepening my eyes because I noticed that her eyes are a lot darker than the rest of her face. I'm also taking that same dark gray shadow and creating like dirt splotches all over my face, doing this very uneven, and you want to make it pretty translucent. Then I'm taking some more of that same paint that I covered my entire face in and creating cracks in my lips. And I did this by just taking the foundation and putting it across horizontally, not vertically. And here you can see the actual cracked effect this gives. Next thing I'm doing is I'm taking some 3rd degree. This is a 2-part silicone. You mix the two together and then you have a silicone. It does dry pretty quickly, so you have to work with it fast, but this is just the process of how I do it. Thought that I would keep it slowed down for you guys. Taking a popsicle stick, I just smooth some on, and then I smooth down the edges, and I kind of like to let it sit and dry a little bit so that it's not so gooey before I actually make the line where the actual cut will be. After it's kind of tacky and not as soft, I take a toothpick and just make the incision in all of those little cuts that I marked out before. Okay, so after I did all the ones on my face, I realized that I hadn't marked out any on my neck, so I kind of was just winging it. So I know that Glam and Gore made a video, and she said that a lot of weird things happened when she was doing the makeup. Me too. There's actually like a demon noise coming out of nowhere that I did not recognize before. Yeah, do you hear that? No, thank you. Just keep smoothing, pretend that didn't happen. Going over my eyebrows with even more liquid latex. And it was at this point that I realized I just completely forgot to do the mark on my nose, and another demon thing happened. My eye got possessed. I don't remember this happening at all when I turned the ring light back on. So this kind of does creep me out a little bit. Then I am taking my Burn and Blister wheel from Ben Nye, and I'm taking a light pink cream shade and just applying that all over the wounds to kind of be irritation. Now honestly, in the movie there isn't very much irritation around all of these, so you could skip this step, but I'm an irritation freak, so I always have to add irritation to all of the wounds that I do. So this is just a little Anna touch. So after that, I'm taking my beauty blender and just blending all of that out into the white, palish foundation that we had before. Then I'm taking a green from the Master Bruise wheel, and I decided that I didn't look sick enough, so I took my beauty blender and just put blotches of that all over. Next, I am using this red shade and coloring in each of the wounds. And another demon sound happened. I went in with this brown shade and deepened in all the wounds that I had went over with the red. Next, I'm just taking some blood paste and putting that inside all of the wounds. Honestly, these wounds in the movie are not that bloody. They're more kind of like scars that have been ripped open. And then taking some more of that gray shadow just to define my lips more. And then I'm taking a little bit more blood and patting that over all the wounds. Be warned, I make some pretty creepy faces in this next part. So next I'm drawing on my teeth and putting some tooth paint, whatever, forgot what it's called, putting some like black tooth paint on it, and that's how creepy it looks. The next part is to actually make the green puke, and the way that I did this was just took some oatmeal and some green food dye. I put probably like 10 drops of it, and I didn't have anything to add the water to it, so I used the bottom of a glue stick. Yep. But then I just used my hands to mix that all up. I decided that I needed it even more green because it was looking too light for me, so I added a few more drops, which ended up being about 10 drops of food coloring. Then I just put that all up in my mouth and threw it out, and it was pretty disgusting. Still tasted like regular oatmeal, but it was colored green, so it kind of grossed me out. Then all that I did was change and add my contacts and mess up my hair and be creepy for you guys. So that is it for this Exorcist tutorial. I hope you enjoyed, and I will leave a link to my Facebook page in the description box below. I hope that you guys like this new way that I've decided to do videos with the voiceover. I just find it a lot easier. I can focus on the actual video once I'm doing the makeup and do the voiceover later. But I don't know, leave a comment, tell me how you like it, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Oh, I can't make myself eat this.